The BBC's Panorama recently broadcast a programme about the UK's energy policy billed as the inconvenient truth behind the UK's rocketing energy bills, that government policy is stoking much of the rise.
Panorama was right to highlight this issue and the worries that householders and businesses have about rising energy costs. Energy prices have risen rapidly in recent years, but not because of government policy to develop renewable sources of power generation. We are in a slow-motion energy crisis. Many of our older power stations will be taken out of service by 2015. And to keep the lights on, we need to build new capacity. But what kind of energy? We have two options: to use gas alone, or develop a mix of gas with wind power and other renewable sources. Both options cost money. The Panorama programme implied that a 20% increase was being slapped onto energy bills to pay for the investment in renewable generation. But figures from the Department of Energy and Climate Change, DEC, show that the cost to householders of renewable policy is a small fraction of typical electricity bills. A bill is not just the cost of the energy used. There's the cost of getting the supply to the home and metering it, the supplier's costs and the profit of the energy company. The biggest proportion of bills is the cost of electricity itself, which is about 46% of the total. Ofgem estimates that out of a typical £1,300 combined annual energy bill, around £100, that's just 7%, is spent on all environmental costs. Just £22 is spent on developing renewable power sources, not the 20% that the Panorama programme implied. Just £22 is spent on developing renewable power. The major reason our energy bills have gone up is because the cost of gas to the energy companies has risen rapidly. Ofgem's figures show that the cost of gas has almost doubled since 2004, and that gas prices are 40% higher this winter than last year. With the cost of fuel making up nearly half of the cost of energy to the consumer, it's no wonder that energy bills are going up. Panorama made an unflattering comparison between the costs of traditionally generated power and the costs of renewable sources. They claimed that traditional sources cost £78 per unit, whilst offshore wind costs £170. The comparison across traditional and renewable energy sources is not as clear-cut as Panorama decided to portray it, however. True, DEC does say that electricity generated by burning gas costs £78 per unit, but that could rise to over £100 when carbon capture technology is introduced, indicating the true cost. However, coal is already £95 per unit, and coal with carbon capture is more expensive again. But the cost of onshore wind generation is just £91 per unit, cheaper than coal. And while offshore wind does cost around £170 now, by 2020 it's projected to fall to £100. Panorama oversimplified the comparison in favour of traditional generation technology. Panorama claimed that by going green the government was taking a gamble and causing major energy price increases now. But the real gamble is not going green. A fossil fuel future is full of uncertainties. Uncertainty about fuel supplies from other countries. Uncertainty about fuel costs. This year the Japanese tsunami has increased demand for gas on world markets. What will be the next supply shock or cost shock? The fossil fuel future is one of volatile energy bills and worries about energy security. Investing in renewables would give us resilience against these uncertainties, and could in the end cost us less. Ofgem analysis shows that going green could be the cheapest option for consumers by 2020. Germany and Denmark are seeing this benefit already. Their experience is that wind-generated power has brought down the cost of wholesale electricity. The UK already leads the world in the use of offshore wind power. We have the opportunity to create a world-beating industry as the next generation of offshore wind turbines are designed. This could bring tens of thousands of new jobs to some of the more deprived areas of the United Kingdom, as many as 55,000 well-paid skilled jobs in the next 10 years, and a further 32,000 created indirectly. The decisions about our energy future are being made now, and once made will be with us for a long time.
We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to build a green energy economy.
If this is the future you want, join our campaign at www.actionforrenewables.org.